All right, so I'm going to get into what we're currently discussing in class over like the artificial wombs and how and if it would help like solve the traditional abortion debate. I think to an extent it might. I'm really 50-50 whenever it comes to this just because of like my religious beliefs. Do I think that it would help, like he said in part of his video, where it talked about it would free women from the burden of having to deal with child labor, child birth, and all that. And I feel like it would. And I say that just from my own personal experience because I've had two children of my own and carried both of them. And it was very hard on me for the entire 9 months that I was pregnant. I was very sick. I was in and out of the hospital. And so even though it's something I believe in or I would do, I feel like if that was an option for me, if I did do it, it would have alleviated a lot of the issues that I had. I would have been able to accomplish more and get more done during my 9 months, seeing as I was mostly in the bed. So as far as that goes, I do think it would help. As far as the part where he talked about it would for like cloning, like yourself or your DNA, I guess, for organs using the wounds. I'm really like weird about that just because, like he said, it is kind of creepy to even think about. Um, I mean, would it be justified? Honestly, I don't know. Probably not, in my opinion. Maybe for others it would, because like you would be able to clone the same like organs that you would need if you ever came into like failure for some of your organs. But I definitely do feel like it would undermine like human life if people went into using like these artificial wombs because like becoming a mother and carrying and burying a child is like to me the most beautiful thing that I could have ever done in my life. I love my children, so that's why I say that. The issues on debate for abortion, if a woman didn't carry a child to term, could they remove the unborn developing child and place it in an artificial womb and give the woman her freedom back without harming the unborn child? Like I said, it's 50-50. Like, just based off my religious beliefs, yes, like it would free a woman from the burden. And I don't think it would harm the child, but that's just me. Um, For the eliminating any harm to like women or child, it would slowly diminish the abortion. I do believe that if women were given an option to be able to just take the pregnancy or take the unborn fetus, place it into artificial wombs, I do believe that it would decrease abortion rates. So for that reason, I am for the artificial wombs as long as they worked efficiently and the child was able to develop how they properly needed to. Um, I don't think it would undermine mothers that didn't really want to become mothers and just wanted to terminate the pregnancy. I think it would be something that would be beneficial and in their favor. Um, do I think that it would undermine like the nature and nurture that was talked about in the video for some mothers if that was strictly the only thing that people wanted to do? I feel like it might. Just because everyone will be like, well, why are you carrying a child in your body whenever you can just take it out and place it in artificial like wombs? Like, I do feel like it could undermine mothers, but hopefully we don't ever get to a point like that. Don't have to worry about it. The other argument that stood out, like in the second part, to me, the decision, oh my goodness, on terminating the pregnancy or not based off like genetic codes. I do believe that both parents should and should not have a right to whether the pregnancy is terminated or not. And if the parents decide to have the undeveloped human placed into artificial wombs, that should cease all rights right there. They shouldn't have a right to say what happens to it after that. If it goes to full term, like they shouldn't have a say so. So for the morals, like part of the unborn human, the moment that it leaves like the biological mother, and her not wanting the child and just wanting to terminate it, I don't think she should have any determination on what happens next, kind of like what I said a second ago. Whether the child is an occupier or a higher moral status, based on like if the mother wants to keep it or not. I don't really feel like that's something that's super important. honestly, like, everyone's take on that would be a little different. I mean, I think an unborn human is still a child, like, no matter the way you look at it, it's still a human. And so, like, if the mother doesn't want it, cool, great. You know, put it up for adoption, put it in artificial wombs, do what you have to do, but don't terminate it just because you don't want it or don't want to have to deal with the repercussions of that child growing up later and asking questions. Um, so, I mean, even though I don't honestly agree with artificial wombs, I do believe that like it should be used for the greater good. For like women who can't naturally carry a baby, can't get pregnant, wants to be a mother, for women that are in high risk or jeopardy of losing their life due to carrying a child. So, artificial wombs would be great for women that are high risk. And that are currently carrying a child and want to see that pregnancy through, and just it could kill them or it could hurt the baby. So, I mean, that right there is where I do feel like this would be great for certain women, but I don't think it should just be used for those that just go off and get pregnant and are like, oh, I don't want the baby, so here you go. Like, let me kill it. I don't agree with it on that point. So before I go any further, I'm going to stop my video because I'm already past my time. So can't wait to see what you guys comment and say, and let's talk about it.